we were talking about at lunch this afternoon how Trish and I were already sad about tomorrow. And I said I've been sad about tomorrow for the last 2 weeks. So in case anybody doesn't know how this all came to be, shortly after Mr. Shorty passed, Donnie Turkson and I were on the phone and just really contemplating our mortality and the whole grand scheme of how long it has been since we had seen everyone, and how this was our real family, and how we don't go to class reunions because we weren't really interested in going to class reunions. We wish we could have had a band reunion. And he said, well, why don't we do that? Let's have a band reunion. I said, that's a great idea. Let me know if you need help. He said, well, go ahead and see if you can't find some hotels or something in the area. And then I heard from him again about 3 weeks later.
And she found a bunch of hotels at that point.
I found a bunch of hotels at that point. So it really is. I'm just really thankful and blessed to see everyone, and it really is just kind of, again, a testament to how strong a family is that comes from, having a band family. We do have people here all the way from 81 to 96. Yeah. So, and for about 6 weeks worth of planning, I think that's pretty incredible. Yeah. And even though there were people from all the way from 81 to 96 who didn't know anyone else, they still came because they knew it was band. It was their band family, and it didn't matter. So that's just like, I don't want to cry. So anyway, I don't know what else to say other than thank you. And next time we do this, I will try to make sure that we have a little more lead time. I heard from so many. Vegas 2015? No, this is 2015.
Better get
planning. Next year we'll be in Vegas if anyone's free. No. Yeah, so we'll definitely try to do this again within the next 25 years. Vegas 2040. So, again, just thank you so much for coming and enjoy. Oh, and Donnie would like to say some things.
Thank you.
Thank you, Katie.
Hi guys, how's it going? I'm Donnie Turkson, class of '89, alto sax.
Wow.
Close to you here now. After worrying about coming to reunions, like I haven't been to any reunions prior to now. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen these people in 26 years. So it's a little nerve-wracking. So I guess where I want to start is, first of all, on behalf of Katie, and I'm really mostly Katie, and I'll get to that here in a minute. I just want to thank everybody for making the effort to actually get here. And I really, before I even go a little bit further, I'd like to hear, if you're outside the state of Texas, will you just shout out the states that you guys came from? Just so
Michigan!
Michigan.
South Carolina.
So, multiple states, like he said, it's happened in like a 6-week period. It's just like she said, okay, I talked, it's like, hey, this, and passing the Mr. Story, what can we do? This feels right, we need to do something. And kudos to Katie. I was like, so yeah, let's maybe have like a cocktail dinner on a Friday night, maybe eat dinner on a Saturday night. She's like, yeah, cool. The next thing I know, t-shirts were being made, videos, pictures, amazing. So with that, I want to say, thank you again to Katie. I know we already did that, and Mike, you added to the thunder of what Katie's actually done here. So just one more time before I go, and then I'm going to say a couple more things, but a big round of applause for Katie. my daughter too. She's my date for this trip. The spouses, I know people. I try to explain to friends. I've tried to explain to my children. I've tried to explain to people that have asked me. They're like, I don't understand. How come you guys are so tight? How do you explain what Randy's story it did in all of our lives? And so, in thinking about that, hang on a second. It was a cult. It was a cult, yeah, exactly. How do you explain this guy that we all love to hate? He was the hardest guy that I've ever done anything. He was harder than any coach I ever had in sports, harder than any teacher I've ever had. Seriously, there were so many times where I was like, I just want to hate this guy because he was so hard, right? But at the same time, you love the guy. And there's actually a couple stories. One, Mr. Story is extremely compassionate. So as hard as it could be, a friend of mine that most of you know, or a lot of you know, Les Bullock can be here tonight, and Terry as well. Now, I was talking to Les before I came down yesterday. He goes, hey, just a couple things about Mr. Story. He goes, as much as he gives a hard time, Les had a difficult time growing up, had some family situations that we all go through and know. And Mr. Story actually paid to redo the saxophone out of his own pocket. Bought him a ring for Christmas. Mr. Story had this innate ability to make you feel so special. And I always kind of thought I was the only one. I was like, he kind of likes me. I'm this special little student. No, he made everybody feel like that way. So that was amazing. So thank you, spouses, for being here. Thank you, kids, for being here. And then the last thing I'll say, and I think actually I had to put this on a note card because I know I'd forget if I didn't say it. So I'm sorry. Yeah, so if you guys would raise the glasses for a toast to Mr. Story, because without him, we wouldn't be here today. So, first of all, and I'll try to keep my composure. First of all, obviously, may you rest in peace. Thank God for Randy's story, and that's the reason we're all here today. He taught us how to win. He taught us how to lose graciously, to never give up, to love unconditionally. Now my hands are shaking because I'm sad. Maybe we're right. Yeah, and then the biggest thing is probably the work ethic that he gave us as well. I mean, 6 o'clock starts, go until midnight, all the trips that we took. So I just want to say to Mr. Story, here, we'll never be able to do, how does this thing go?
Nothing we did in the past will ever be good enough again.
Sir. May you rest in peace. May His Son always shine on Mr. Story's spirit, our families, the students that are with him, and all the parents involved. Graduate year, raise your hands by year. So what's the earliest that we started with?
81.
So actually, let's stand up. 81, 1981, graduates.
That was Story's first year.
Oh, yeah, that was. All I remember is that he was real strict. I remember him being real strict.
Maybe should we do let's do 82 through 85? Can we do that? Year by year? Okay, 1982. Anybody? Y'all holler out at me. 83. 84. 85. And we're getting close. 86. Let's say where you're from, too. Where do you live now?
Oh, Midland.
That's easy.
1987.
Ooh, that's a lot of.
Where am I?
88.
1988.
There's us.
1993. 1995. And I know he's out. Where'd you go? 1996. You talked earlier, he's like, I don't know anybody here, but I'm here in spirit. So
Yeah.
glad you're here.
Good for you, Chris.
And then so then I just want to tell one story that I ran online and I'm done. So one story about Mission Story, just to give you the person how he was. I don't remember all the details, and if somebody else wants to tell it, by all means do it. But there was a bunch of buses. We also had 4 or 5 buses going somewhere. They were going to a competition. This wasn't even in the year. I think it was much later than I graduated. And they were going all these Midland High signs. We're the best variable, number 1. We're the best. Midland High, for those of you that don't know, is our crosstown rival to Lee. And Mr. Story apparently got the mic to stop the bus, stop the bus, stop the bus. They said he walked off the bus, stopped all the buses in line, kind of held himself together, started screaming and yelling and running and kicking every sign. And he's like, "You're not number 1, we're number 1." So, that kind of tells you about his personality anyway. If anybody else wants to speak, by all means, feel free. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for coming. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was really good, sorry. So, yeah, I didn't do this entirely by myself. I did have quite a bit of help. And Sonia and Mike need to stand up and... And, yeah, it was just
Wait till
like...
she sees the bill.
Yeah.
Sonia had contacted me, and a few people contact you wherever you do a volunteer event where everybody you just kind of wait for people to come to you and say, "Oh, I would like to help with." Well, Sonia came onto the scene and she's like, "I want to do XYZ." I'm like, "Go for it." Yeah. She's like, "I'll take care of name tags." Okay. And she's like, "So I want to do I want to go ahead and do the swords and the cross sabers and cannon in
That didn't
one
work out.
corner, and I was thinking about a border, and then when
It didn't
you
work
think
out.
it was like the whole
flag.
yeah.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
And the whole time I'm thinking, picture on one half, name and info on the other, and she's like, "Oh, I don't want it on just a plain white background, and what about some
It went a
lanyards?
lot.
We need to have some personalized lanyards." "No, I'll take care of it, and I was just like, wow, you go, you just go. And then besides that, she was just there for moral support. How many kids do you have?
A
lot.
5. We have 5 kids, and a husband who's changing jobs, moving, all these other things. And she messages me and she says, "How did your daughter's doctor appointment go? How was her ankle?" And I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" Like, with everything else that's going
That's the
on in her
military
life,
too, though. Don't slide it to
with
this.
everything else that was going on in her life, she remembers the day my daughter has her doctor's appointment. I had a hard time remembering the day. So both of them were just really instrumental in helping just carry me through this, as well as contributing an enormous amount on their own. So if we could please. Yes. I might even zip my top for me today. So really, they have helped with every aspect. Okay, so it would be really great if anybody had any stories. Brian, Shayna?
Yes.
Anything? A favorite memory?
Bob and Lee.
Or anyone, if you have a favorite memory that you want to share? Anyone?
She's putting
Y'all are
you
about to
there.
get voluntold. Come on.
I was about to say, we're in the middle.
Okay, yeah, we'll just pass it around. Here you go.
I remember ducking music stands.
Ducking music stand.
Ducking music stands.
Oh, okay. Okay, great.
One memory I have from this story is we had screwed something up, and he was on his tower throwing a big tantrum, and he said the one quote that I remember very clearly from this story, which is, "I want you to do what I want you to do."
Chris, are you not going to share
Okay, I've got one.
Okay, come on.
Okay, so I used to be a band director for a little bit, and of course I was raised in the Story ways, and I've got two, because they're going to go together. So the first one, he shows up to my senior recital at WT, and I wasn't supposed to student teach with him. I was going to student teach here at LD Bell in Hearst, and he got on his knees after my recital, and he goes, "Well, you can't go there. You're going to student teach with me," which was a horrible decision. We fought every day, as you can imagine. But we're on the bus, and it's funny, he tells a story about kicking the signs. I think I was on a trip like that as a student teacher when he did that once on the way to El Paso. But I remember things were going, as he put it, way too well. We were on our way to Austin for a state marching contest, and everything was working. Everything. And so we get about halfway there, and we're on time. And he goes, "Well, we can't do this. We can't do this." And so he always created some sort of problem. There had to be an issue of some sort. So I don't remember. I think the engine broke down. He got everybody off the bus. I mean, it was crazy. Anyway, he was famous for those kinds of things.
Take it to the next show.
There we go. Oh, and don't forget that table.
Y'all remember the tower?
Yes.
Practice film? And again, I don't know the details, but he was standing in the tower. He got mad, throwing a temper tantrum like he often did. He had the field papers in his hand up there on the tower and started throwing them from the tower, and these papers start flying down into somebody's tuba. That's all I remember.
Okay, so there's this one year, I was a flight mom, and so I know there's somebody in here that was there in the band. And I don't remember exactly which contest it was, but it was marching contest. And the band didn't have it together that day. For some reason, their heads weren't on for some reason. Mr. Story was really just throwing the insults around like he did. He's like, "You guys are gonna lose, and you stink," and he was just, really putting you guys down. "You're gonna lose it all." And then he turned around. There's a group of us flag moms standing on the sidelines, and he turned around to us after you guys were leaving. Whoever the band was leaving, he goes, "Go get on the bus." And he turned around to us and he said, "They're gonna win it all," and they did. So that was like 91 or 92. Yeah, I mean, it was something that it was a side of Mr. Story that we had never seen before, because he knew you guys were going to win.
Okay. I have one from more recent times. I have 3 boys that went to the band, as I went to the band, and their dad. So we were very comfortable with Mr. Short. We get comfortable with him. But I just remember him being there for my boys, calling them the day before they had to go sign up for junior high band, telling my oldest one, "You will play the trombone. You will play it." And he says, "I don't want to." He says, "Nope, you will play it." He did. My youngest one, he told him, "You will play the flute." And he looked at him and he says, "I'm not going to win this." And so he played the flute. But he, even as he softened in his older years, the old Mr. Shore was always there. He was always there. And I remember my boys coming home saying, having a fight with his young on the floor about the boys not being somewhere. And him saying, "You know I'm right." Yes, you're right. Because that's all you can answer. Ever. He was always right. But he always loved everybody. He says, "I just do it because I love you. And I love the
Okay.
I graduated in '94. My senior year, we did Les Mis, and all of the flag girls had these sandals that were nude sandals they tied up. So one of the girls lost her shoes. Lost them. And so he says, all of the flag girls are marching this contest barefoot. I'm sorry, what? So we were barefoot. So we were in 34-degree weather, marching barefoot. And we were, all our feet were numb. And the flag guard won. He won the competition. And then we were watching the televised version of it later. And they actually said during the flag competition, or the whole competition, they said, you know, those flag girls, they're all barefoot. What kind of dedication? Of course, we're on the field like, what the? But that was his decision. One girl, no sandals, the whole guard barefoot. Who was the girl? I don't remember.
Jennifer Stapp and I used to chew tobacco on the field. Yeah, we all used to chew tobacco.
That's Johnny. Okay.
That's all I got.
Chad's got stories.
I missed
Chad,
you.
tell a story. No, Chad, tell a story. Chad, you just be real loud.
Patricia, I can't believe you mentioned that. Yeah. So 1989, the Randy Bilbies and David Alcala had gone on, you know, as a junior year, looking up your seniors, they'd gone. So my friend and I, Les Pulley, he and I were going to be cool. We were like, we need to do something about it. Let's step out. We're going to step out a little bit, have some fun. Well, what do you want to do, Pulley? I don't know. Let's get our ears pierced. Great idea, Les. Let's do that. So we went to whatever place at the mall. Claire's. Oh, wow. That just brought back a whole bunch of memories, too. So we went to Claire's. And of course, it's, hey guys, we're glad you're here. Which ear do you want to hear? Left. Because right, you don't need to. Anyway, that's probably very PC, politically incorrect, actually. Anyway, so we pierced our left ears. And we were out marching. I think it was the next day. It was a day or two later. We were out on the field. We were feeling good. We were seniors. Oh, Amber, you reminded me I was an officer. I forgot all about that. Yeah. Mr. Story apparently caught a glimpse or a glimpse of light off the earrings that she and I had. It's like apparently shine. Mr. Story's like, stop. Everybody stop marching. Everybody sit still.
How many people were there?
Yeah, who was there? It'd be awesome to tell this story. Mr. Story comes and gets up in our business. I mean, yelling and screaming, spit is flying on. I'm like willing to give it. I'm like wilting. I'm like, I'm out. He's like, either leave the field with your earrings in or take them out right now. So I'm like taking 2 steps forward, pulling it out, and I'm like, last. I'm wearing my earring. I'm wearing it. And so, scared me to, long story short, I pulled my earring out, Les pulled his earring out, Mr. Story. My parents were very thankful for that, by the way, for him doing that. That's the earring story as I remember it.
Okay, I got one. Well, first of all, the love-hate thing, me and Story and I got along great. Our sophomore year. You remember the band picture out in front of the school? That camera that rolled really slow. So we're sitting there getting set up, and the percussion line was always in the front row, and everybody fell in behind us and whoever else. We thought it'd be a great idea to...
No, Matt Hodges
thought it'd be a great idea for us to turn to the side and take a profile shot. So when the picture got developed, every one of them got ripped into 1,000 pieces, and he was so pissed at all of us for doing that. We thought we were cool, and he was really, really mad. So if you ever dig out an '86 yearbook, look at the band photo.
No.
Is it? It happened in 91. It happened in 91 too.
Oh, leave it to them.
Hey, real quick, just one story. David Alcala, class 88. One thing I will say about Mr. Story, what was cool about him is, you know, I was 88. I would still see him on occasion. And every time I saw Mr. Story, he knew my name. It's like he saw me the next day, and it was just so cool that he remembered. And I've heard that mini story talking a lot to everybody this weekend, is that y'all would see him afterwards, and he always knew your name and knew what was going on. And then when he got on Facebook, you know, he would comment on my kids and family, and I just thought that was the coolest thing. I know he's hard to work, but I have much respect for that man. So
Maybe you still look just like you did in high school.
you would recognize me.
Chad?
Jeff.
Go ahead,
Jeff.
What was that? We went on a band trip. I forget where it was. We were staying at a big, tall hotel on the beach. Remember this? Anyway, he had strict curfew. Remember this? Everybody in bed. We got a party day. We all snuck out. Okay, we're all over the place. So he's got the parents. If you guys remember, my mom, Teresa Roberts, most of you know, was the band mom of band moms. And she was on the hunt, and so we were all sneaking around. We were in the elevator, and she was with Mr. Story and saying, I want all these kids rounded up, I want them found. And I went, and the doors opened, and there I am. My mother and my band director. It was a long walk back to the room.
Do you remember him playing water balloons? Catching water balloons off that same hotel?
Yes.
I have pictures of that. I should have brought them today, but I just remembered that. Was absolutely nuts. If y'all did not know that, that man could let loose just a little bit. So we were throwing water balloons at him off this 6-story hotel room. It was nuts. And he was all good with it.
I also remember that our year was the year that the score picture was not taken on the tower.
Yes.
Mr. Story decided that was no longer cool, and our score chairman, Alan McCurdy, had a bit of an issue with that. And I got to watch Alan McCurdy and Randy Story go at it. I mean, at it for 5 minutes in the parking lot. Mr. Story won.
Yeah.
He controlled the photographer, but we ended up having our score picture on top of the band hall.
Yep.
It was the first year that ever happened. And we were deprived, unfortunately, of our tower shot that all of our upperclassmen got to do, which is a bummer. But never got an explanation on that. I don't know if you ever knew why he didn't let us do that, but he decided.
He just wanted to change it up that year, and I just wasn't going to be the one that changed tradition. So we went to the
rolled up. Now you gotta go talk to him.
And they were holding me back, and really weren't.
Way behind you.
I'm going to do a small preemptive story to the same hotel that Chad was just talking about. There was 3 of us that were the largest guys in the band that we were all rooming together, and we got when we first got to Port Aransas, you got a per diem of X amount of dollars to go buy your groceries. That's all you get. What you get is that's it. Okay. So the 3 largest guys, we get in there, and my sophomore at the time, Mike Burns, he had gone and he was in charge of going and getting all the cola, and he just saw red. That's all he saw, and he thought that was a generic cola. And he started loading up all this cola. It was the Big Red equivalent. And so we were sick of Big Red by the time we got finished with the trip. But we were about 3 days away from leaving, and we ran out of food. And we were having some meeting after the performance or something. We got down to the parking lot, and we're literally begging for food. And then I hear this story.
told him last night I didn't want to tell this tonight. Anyway, if you remember the assembly line order that Mr. Story wanted, is we went to the store, we got our supplies and provisions, we came out, we unloaded from the bus. You were supposed to take your clothing and suitcases first and then come back for the booth. And so everybody did that, save one. Brian took my suitcase and everything in, and then I went through and cherry-picked all of the sophomore rooms, things of frozen pizzas, orange juices. That's not the end of the story. So word got around that we had so many frozen pizzas or juices, we were putting them in bookshelves. And anyway, at one point there was a knock on the door. It wasn't actually Mr. Story or Alan, it was a sophomore who said, we seem to have lost a lot of our food. I heard you guys might have it. And I said, well, you can look at the fridge, but I don't think it's here. We opened up the fridge, and it was wall-to-wall frozen pizzas, orange juice crates, everything else. And I said, see, that's just our stuff. Sorry, man.
It was either Josh or Jeff who said that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
Mike Burnett, class of '89. My favorite Randy Story memory happened 3 years ago. My family goes out to Arizona for spring training baseball every spring break, and my dad likes to fly us out of Midland at like 5 in the morning. And so it was me and my 2 kids standing in the airport at Midland at 5 in the morning, and then all of a sudden we hear this ruckus, and we turn around, and here comes the Lee Band. The honor band was going to Chicago for spring break for something, and my son was standing there, and he was a 8th grader at the time, and he was like, "This is the band." I was like, "This is the band, kid." And we found Mr. Story after we checked in. Mr. Story was sitting there, and we went over and talked to him. And as soon as we got there, he stood up. Mike Burnett, class of '89. He played trumpet, and I was just floored that he remembered the name, the year, the instrument, and then he proceeded to talk to my son for 15 minutes about band. And my son was borderline. He played band his freshman year and he got out because he does baseball, but he was borderline that 8th grade year about staying in band. And after we walked away from that, he was, I'm going to do band at least 1 year in high school. And I was like, that's cool. And it's because he remembered who we were. I teach college now, and a lot of my students will tell me I'm the world's biggest asshole teacher. They say I'm strict. They say I'm strict. When we go on trips, it's, wheels up are at 6 a.m., you're in the bus at 5:45 or whatever. All these things are instilled from band. And when they say to me, God, you're such a hard teacher, you're such a hard ass, you're just the biggest asshole, a little part of me says, thank you, Mr. Story, because I'm half the asshole he was. And he was a great guy. Okay, I do not have an asshole story for him. Let me make sure that you guys understand exactly the type of person he really was. Now, you guys know that my mom worked at school for a very long time. We got there in '81, and we've known Randy forever and ever and ever. And I think there's only 2 people that I'm aware of, one of them that marched a little bit longer, that have ever been able to successfully navigate football and band at the same time. Now, I have to give it to Randy because he was absolutely a trailblazer in that. Here you have, my son is 16 now, and he's in high school, and we specialize in everything. You play band, that's all you do. You play baseball, that's all you do. You play football, that's all you do. And here's this guy that is such a hard ass and makes sure everything is perfect and everything else. But he found a way to work with Earl Miller to let us go play football and come back to the band.
Yep.
And now I can't tell you, and if I tell my son that these days, he has no idea. He was shocked when I showed him a picture of me being in the pit in my football uniform, going through that. But that was Randy. He truly found a family, kept it together, was able to work with us, not to everything that we wanted it to be, but he did, and I greatly appreciate that more today, going through that with my children versus what I did then, and it is phenomenal, and I do appreciate all the stuff that he did for us. And that's just one very tangible thing that I know of what he did, and that caused him so much grief to have to work with Earl Miller, because they did not get along whatsoever. But I do appreciate it, and I thought that was phenomenal what he was able to accomplish.
Brian?
No. Brian, tell us the story.
Story time, Uncle Brian. Come on, Uncle Brian.
What video?
No.
Yeah, so that actually this is an important opportunity since I haven't seen many of y'all in too many years. But does anybody have an existing copy of Band of the Dam? Because we really want one.
Yes.
No, I'm saying yes, we want one.
No?
What is it?
What is that?
All right, so Band of the Dam. This was I don't even know how it started, but Shane and I decided we were going to do a video homage to everybody in the band, and there were no sacred cows. So, and we, what year was that? 1990?
1989,
Yeah. So we started out with a long shot, and this is all done, with Shane's younger brother Brett doing a slow zoom on the camera, zooming in on Shane and I in sunglasses and suits, and it was our poor Blues Brothers routine. But anyway, it was meant to memorialize everything that we thought band was, and the way that it just struck a chord with all of us. Mastication by Chad, which is an important part. Especially the best part when Chad doesn't know what mastication is. He's going, "What did you do? What did you film me doing?" So yeah, he felt a little more at peace once he found out it was just 30 seconds of us filming him eating his breakfast, because we were really desperate for material. Actually, we just needed a way to use the word mastication in a sentence. But, one thing, and I think after we have the after dinner, and we have, things loosen up a little more, and, we can tell some more stories. But one thing I just want to say, I moved away from Midland after I graduated in 1990. My folks stayed there for a while, but I moved away. And I came back, Christmas time or whatever, and I saw a few people. But I was having this conversation with Anthony earlier tonight. I haven't been to a single class reunion because I just didn't have that connection. There were maybe one or two people I might have wanted to see if they were going to be there. But as soon as Katie posted that they were going to do something like this, it took about 30 seconds for Shane and Alan and I to say, we got to be there, no matter what happens, we've got to be there. And because whether it's class of 81, class of 96, it doesn't matter. There's a family that exists here that I have not found anywhere else. And it's just amazing. It really is. So I wanted to thank all of y'all. And I know that high school's a tough time, and some of us didn't get together, didn't get along so well, perhaps. But it's kind of cool that 25 years later, none of that matters. And
You're
it's just
here.
an awesome. All right. First round's on nine.
I had the earring.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but I just